What's going on, everyone? Talon here, and today I'm going to be talking about some information for newer players and my opinions on how they should start off if they want to kind of maximize their characters. So I'm going to be talking about cards, custom gear, and gear in general. So first, let's take a look. I have Cho right here that I haven't been working on too much yet, and we're going to go into his gear. The first thing that a lot of newer players don't realize is you can change these gear stats to whatever you want. I know it took me a little while to realize this when I first started playing, so you just hit change option, you can select any stat that you want here, and Cho is going to be a physical attack character, so I don't mind having physical attack by level as the first spot, but all the others I either want all attack or physical attack. So for this one, I click on it, and I would just hit change because you can save yourself a little bit of gold if you just do this one at a time, since there's two different stats that you can get, and boom. I rolled physical right off the bat, so that helps. And then if I go over here though, I want all defense for all of my stats over here. So for this one, I'm going to hit auto change, and then I'm just going to select all defense, and I'm going to click the auto change button, and it's going to keep rolling 10 times for me max right now until I get that all defense, and boom, there it goes. Took 5 rolls to get all defense. And if it doesn't get it into 10 rolls, you can still click on this and keep going each time. So that's just a short thing on gear to help you maximize your character, because this way you could crank out the most DPS and defense out of the character that you can possibly get. Alright, so now let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about custom gear now. So you're basically going to want to have a gear that will synergize well with your hero that you're building. So for certain heroes, you're going to want to build, towards crit rate or towards dodge or whatever stat you're trying to bulk up on that particular hero. So that stat you want to also get on your obelisk as well. So as you can see down here, if you're building towards crit rate, this obelisk has crit rate on it. So I'll want to develop this obelisk and put it on that hero. Recovery rate for a hero that has a natural heal built in, or you have a healing ISO set. This will come in handy on keeping your hero alive. And then you have these damage ones as well for elemental damage, which will come in handy for heroes that do elemental damage. But also the thing to look at on your obelisk is going to be the stat in green. If you roll a green activation stat, some of the better ones to get are going to be like this one here, where when your HP is below 50%, you get an invincibility proc for 4 seconds. That comes in handy in world bosses and especially in Shadowland, because invincibility will be invaluable. And then also you can have something like this where it says when HP is below 50%, you get a max HP recovery. So this coupled with a recovery rate, so if I had that text here, the green text for my recovery rate on this obelisk that already has a recovery rate, it would help buff itself and you would get a bigger heal. So that's good to remember. And then as I was saying, for the lightning or fire damage or something, if you go to your hero, like Jane Foster here, if you go look at her skills, you can see that some of them say lightning damage, or actually quite a few of them say lightning damage. So that means, so for the obelisk I have on her, increased lightning damage 26%. So basically all of those skills that said lightning on them are going to go do 26% more damage, which is a huge increase. So it's really good to have gear that synergizes with your hero, because as you can see, it will benefit them greatly. So that's basically what I want to go over for gear. Just keep building them up. You want to just keep fusing and fusing so you can get your gear up to higher levels, because once you hit the 3-star, then you're going to start seeing these activation rate stats. So yeah, alright, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about cards now. So I'm going to talk about what I think are going to be the best cards for newer players to work on and develop. So what I have in here are basically just cards that you can get from the current dimension rifts. So the best 2 cards by far from the current dimension rifts are going to be the Drax and Ronin cards. And as you can see here, for the Drax card, it has physical attack as one of the first 2 slots. And the first 2 slots are never going to change no matter what you do to upgrade this card or reroll this card. So those are going to be fixed stats. And for cards, basically what you want to prioritize is going to be attack, I would say first, and then skill cooldown, and then you want to go for something that's either max HP dodge or crit rate. Somewhere, one of those is going to be the next best thing to go for. Of course, dodge is also really good to have on a card. So the Drax card has the physical attack, so that's why I would prioritize this one, because then you can try to reroll the other stats on it to get, say, dodge or skill cooldown, or even energy attack, which would be really nice to have as well on the card. And then the Ronin card is the opposite of the Drax card. It has energy attack as one of its fixed stats. And as you can see in the third spot here, it says physical attack, and that's a random stat that can change and can be different than physical attack, but since I got physical attack here, this is actually a really good card because now I'm getting a damage boost for both physical and energy. So this is also why I would recommend that as one of the top cards. And of course you get those from the Ronin Rift and the Drax Rift. Alright, and these next cards that I'm going to talk about are going to be also from the current rifts, but I would only really use these ones if you didn't have access to the older cards from the old Dimension Rifts. So we're going to first see here that we have, alright, the Avengers 1963, and then this one you're going to get from the Nebula Rift. And as you can see on here, it has max HP and defense penetration as the first two fixed stats. The max HP is the main thing we're going for here, but defense penetration is also really helpful, so it's also another good stat to have. So that's why I'd also recommend this one. And then over here we have the Avengers Initiative 2007 number 20. And this one you're going to get from the Yellow Jacket Rift. And it's got attack speed and all defense. And the all defense is the main thing you want here on this card. And then over here we have Ant-Man number 1, which is going to be from the Wasp Rift. And you can see the max HP and critical damage here. And what we want is the max HP. So those are going to be the cards that you want to work on if you're a new player right now, and these are the only really cards that you can get for free. Alright, and then if I go here to the cards that I have equipped right now, if you were playing a little while ago before the new Dimension Rifts rolled around, then you might have the Loki card from the Destroyer Rift, which is one of the best cards in my opinion. All around just in general, but especially for free players, because all attack and skill cooldown are the two stats that don't change. So those are two of the main stats that you want, so this card is top priority. If you have this card, definitely work on this card. Don't fuse this card away. And then the next one would be Marvel Zombies. So this is also from old Dimension Rifts. I forget which one. I think it was Vision or Hawkeye, one of those. And it has dodge and cooldown time on it. So basically this is dodge and skill cooldown, which are two really desirable stats as well. So this is one that you would want to work on if you can, if you still have this card. And these cards I'm going over right now, the Loki, Marvel Zombies, and the last one I would look at is the Black Widow card. I would use these over the last three that I mentioned previously for the current Dimension Rifts. So I'd use Black Widow, Marvel Zombies, Loki, Drax, and Ronin. If you're a new player, to work on those cards would probably be the best ones. And as you can see, the Black Widow has max HP and all defense as the first two stats, so that's why she's also a good card to use. And this one I just happened to get a lucky roll on. Pretty much all the stats on this are useful. So all defense, max HP, dodge, skill cooldown, defense penetration, and physical attack. So I really like the roll that I got on this particular card. And then also, if you look at the honor chests, you can actually get, there's a few cards in there that are useful. And one of them is this card I have right here, the Amazing Spider-Man 1999, number 535. And basically this one is also a different max HP card. So it's good to get from honor chest, but then again, you know, it's about the same as the cards that you can get right now, which is the, where is it? Max HP defense pen. It's very similar to these with the max HP. It just has different attack stat on it. So actually, I probably want to replace that with defense pen over attack speed. But I was planning on replacing that actually with the Ronin card once I develop it. And then this card was actually a free card that I got from the login day. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but it was from my login card chest, which is also similar to the Ronin card because it's an energy attack for its fixed stat. So there's many ways to get good cards, but like I said, you want to prioritize those stats over the others: the max attack, the energy, the physical attack, skill cooldown, and then like max HP, because then that will help your roster out immensely. And as you can see from my card effects, what you want to shoot for your skill cooldown is something with 25% or more, or around 25% area, because that's pretty much the butter zone, because you can have a max skill cooldown of 50%, so you're going to get the skill cooldown from this, you're going to get skill cooldown from your gear, you're maybe going to get some from your ISO set, and then from your alliance too. If your alliance is a high enough level, you also get some skill cooldown there as well. So that's basically what I want to say about the cards. So those are the cards I would prioritize if you're new to the game. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention was that you can still get those older comic cards that I was talking about. They are still available in the current Dimension Rifts if you find a heroic level Dimension Rift. So basically in these heroic level Dimension Rifts, you can see from that little card icon there that it says acquire additional comic cards. And basically those additional comic cards are any of the old comic cards, and they can drop at random. So you still have a chance to get the Loki, Marvel Zombies, and Black Widow comic card from that. So that's something to look out for if you happen to see one of these appear in your Dimension Rifts, even if it's a character you don't want. But if you want that comic card, you should do a few runs through it. And also in the description below, I will include a document that I found. It's lists all of the comic card details, like what stats can be rolled for each slot in the comic card. I did not make this document, so all credit to the creator of the document. And I hope you find that useful. So just a little bit of extra information there at the end, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.